Okay guys, so I'm going to record a video for this one rather than a walkthrough because I want to explain some concepts rather than walk you through how to do something. So for part of your summative assessment, you need to use conditionals and a loop. So that's what I'm going to show you here. Now before we get into that, I'm just going to show you a slightly different way of displaying pages. So in this project, I have app.js, conditional.js, and loop.js. To create new files, you just click this button here and then give it a name here. Now notice I've left the .js. Okay, that's important if you want to have a JavaScript file, which we do. Now I don't need this, so I'm going to delete it because it makes it easier to see stuff here. Now notice I also created these files in the components folder. To do that, click the components and you click add here. If you do it outside, it's no problem. You can always drag it into the folder by selecting file and dragging it in. Though I don't need to do that because both of mine are already there. So app.js is the file that React will run first of all. Now you can see that my export default class, which is the main function, is a view and it has conditional and loop in it. Now I'm importing conditional from the component conditional, and this is this file here. And I'm importing loop from components loop, and that is that file here. However, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually importing the class. If we look at the conditional file, you can see that the class is called conditional, and I'm exporting the conditional, which is the class. Now, we don't need to go into classes. We used to do them in grade 12, but we don't anymore. All you need to know is they're basically kind of a wrapper for code. So I'm exporting all of this code here. Okay, so this code is basically being wrapped up in a nice page and then being sent to app.js and then just being displayed here. Okay, so I'm displaying the conditional and I'm displaying the loop. We don't need to go into it any more than that. Okay, so in the conditional file, what I've done is I've set up some variables. Now, without going into it in too much detail again, I needed to use a class because I needed to use variables that different functions could see, and this is the easiest way of doing it. So in our other examples, we had different functions. Now those functions would need to see the same variables. And there is a way of passing variables between different functions, but that was more complicated than this. Now, we don't need to use this programming language very much after this assignment. If you want to, then you can look more into classes and passing variables. But since we're only using this for this assignment, we don't need to go into it in too much detail. So basically, we need to set up some variables. And the variables I need to set up was answer and reply. Because here, I'm asking a question, is computer science the best subject in the world? The students will answer yes or no here, and then a response will go here. So that's what the answer is for, that's what the reply is for. Now at the moment, my answer is set up as world and my reply is set up as reply will go here. And you can see this here. If I change this, I delete that, page will update, look, and there will be something, it will update there. So this is the default reply. The default answer you never see. I just put something there. That could be anything. You don't see it. It doesn't matter. It could even be blank. Okay, so I just put world there just to have something there to show you. Okay, so these are variables. Now, React works with states. A state is whether something is active or not, or how it is active. So, for example, if you think of a computer game, whilst you're playing the game, your state is alive. When you run out of health and have no health, your state is dead. Okay? At the moment, my state is sat down. If I stand up out of my chair, my state would be stood up. So that's kind of what a state is. It's the situation you are in now. So at the moment, our answer state is the default of anything, and the reply state is reply will go here, because I'm waiting for a response from the student. Okay, so that's what the variables are for. Then I've set up a render. You don't need to worry about that. It's just this is what will be displayed to the screen, and I'm returning some text. I'm returning a text input for the answer, and I'm returning a text input for the reply. The placeholder is this state reply, which is this here. Okay, my placeholder is just some text. Yes or no will go here. Now I could, if I wanted to, put anything in there, so like the same as I've done here, but that wouldn't make any sense. So I'll just put a placeholder as answer yes or no here. Now, when this text box is changed, so there's an on change event, kind of like a click button event, but it's called an on change event. I will get the answer, and I will send the answer to update answer. Now this is a function, okay? And it's a part of this class, which is why I've used the keyword class here. If you're going to look into JavaScript in more detail, this is a very powerful keyword. If not, for now, all we need to know is we are referencing this class when we say this. Okay, so this update answer, and I'm going to, which is a function, and I'm going to send it the answer. So I'm going to send it whatever's typed in here. So let's look at this function. So this function equals text. So this means I'm sending the text. So this is how to pass text to a function. So I've sent it the text, and then what I'm saying is if text equals yes, or the text equals yes with a capital Y, because it's case sensitive, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the state. So this class is set state, the reply state. I'm going to set it to this smiley face. If they say anything else except yes or yes with a capital Y, I'm going to set this class's state of reply to sad or bored face. So let's see if that works. So I'm going to type in yes, and we get a smiley face. Notice if I don't finish, I don't get a smiley face because it's not yes, and it's not yes with a capital Y. But if I put yes with a capital Y, we get a smiley face. If I add stuff onto the end of it, we get our sad face. So our answer is very literal, but that doesn't matter. Okay, that's what we want computers to be. We want computers to be literal. We want them to do what we tell them. So that's how that works, guys. You can see we send back the reply. So the placeholder is this state.reply. So it updates. Because all of this is one class and we are referencing this class, as soon as we change the state of anything in this class, it updates. Which is why I did it this way, which is why I did classes, because it's, like I said, it's easier than all the other things we did. So guys, that is how I've used conditionals in this case. You can use conditionals for a lot of other things. In your assignments, you need to use it. This is the syntax for it. How you use it is entirely up to you. You can use it on a button click. You can call a function on a button click, in which case you do it like we did in the first tutorial with the button and the alert box. You can check text boxes, you can check states, you can check numbers. It's entirely up to you how you use it. But this is the logic for it, which is very, very similar to JavaScript because it is JavaScript. Okay, I'm going to stop it there and let you rest, and then you can watch the next video on the loops.